series. Together with our furry friend Kaliki, we are
California Travel Videos. We love the opportunity to travel and meet people along the way.
We would love to invite you to come along with us as we travel through California and beyond.
Whether we're seeing the sights of Santa Monica while enjoying some people watching, or being impressed by young daredevils doing their thing,
or catching some sun rays on the beach while watching America's finest soldiers out on maneuvers.
we are always on the lookout for videos and photo opportunities that might be interesting, entertaining, and educational for you.
And life happens when we are making plans.
So while we're out on the Wood Nations with a plan in mind, we're always happy to share our supplies with you.
Kaliki. Yeah. Upstairs.
Leaky, messy dog.
That's our boy.
There we are.
Oh, I love this shot.
Call in number, check.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
We're in Bakersfield, California, and I don't know where the bakers are, but I want some pastry this morning. Are you hungry?
Sweet rolls.
Sweet rolls, yeah.
Here's
okay.
my sweet roll.
That's well said.
To the good life, my love.
What do they call the feature before the film?
Trailer.
Well,
Your glasses way over there.
my glass, what in the world? I got out of control here.
Careful!
If you're going to get me, I might as well give you another one. You said you were going to get me. The war is on, is it not?
Oh, now what is that?
What's what?
Bad girl. Naughty.
You asked for it.
You're naughty. Wow, look at this.
I know, I just can't get over the beauty. It's just so incredible. I feel so small right now. While we're out looking for interesting shots or a different perspective, we sometimes are inclined to see the world through the eyes of our drone.
For sure. And while
I
drone
saw you
laws are
faded
evolving
him
over
out.
time,
Yeah,
strive
I did.
to be
I'm kind of
respectful
checking
of
some of their
everyone,
gear out.
whether flying near the Golden Gate Bridge
Or flying the friendly
What happened?
I don't know.
skies near our home in the Napa-Sonoma wine country.
Like Grace mentioned earlier, we're often pleasantly surprised when we come across something special, like hot air balloons flying at the crack of dawn. Go on, Grace.
I'm not going.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
There's like tarantulas and rattlesnakes and stuff in there.
You look like you had Kaliki's eyeliner on.
Okay, so I got my camera bag here with all my gear.
Yeah,
I got my camera here, and I've got this, I don't know,
Bowling ball.
15-pound bowling ball rock in my jacket. With a little bit of luck, it'll stay there and not crush my chest if I fall on it.
We're awful close to this bush over here.
I like it close. I
Oh,
like to cut
honey,
close calls, baby.
honey.
Look at this, man. We're going to be going through
She's
some weeds.
neat.
Oh, God.
Will we get in the water? Will we
Guys.
flip it?
Oh, shh.
What's that in the background?
Careful! Michael! I would like to point out to you
It
that
is a tree.
the Joshua
Is a tree.
is not a cactus.
Okay.
Using two of these graduated neutral density filters stacked one behind the other. So if you look at them, there's a fairly sharp gradation.
I'm going to do more of what makes you happy.
We have our version of the truth, or I like to say, the French verisimilitude.
You like your big words, don't you?
I like it if it's French because my heritage. You know, it's not all German.
Tweety, tweety.
We love to share our journey and latest discoveries while we're out on the road, yet our main focus is all about producing the kind of show that you will enjoy.
So if your favorites are action shots of animals,
And that includes our wonder dog Kaliki,
Grace's landscape photography,
Michael's cinema, or maybe sticking to the whip-em. What's in it for me?
it really encourages us to read your comments.
And we definitely appreciate your likes, your subscription, and as always,
We look forward to hearing from you.
Have to let the peeps know and take them with us.
Good.
Okay, Facebook status done.
Facebook status complete.
Done. Check.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Wonderful. Absolutely the best kind of a vacation day.
Indeed.
Have you been to California? Seen the sights of people there walked the streets of sleepy sea towns, tasted salt.
There's about 5 minutes left. That was a fun start. The good old days, Grace. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to count. I will. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Okay. And I'm assuming that's YouTube and not Facebook. Oh, I see what you're asking for. You want to go to the screen, of course. I have too many monitors here. I'm chocked full of monitors all around me. Shh, shh. Hi, y'all. We have anybody come in the room yet? Peachy.
Yeah, Facebook is like 5 minutes behind.
Come on.
Oh, I'm
Showtime
serious.
in 4
Let me
minutes.
see here. Yeah, Facebook's literally like 5 minutes behind.
Don't tell me.
Let me make sure this is the right day.
Yeah, really. Yeah, what is going on with Facebook? I'm looking at the little monitor in the corner and it's... Shino looking so good.
Okay, it's better now. It is about 30 seconds behind.
Damn.
No, about 20, 25. But
Come on, keep going. Can I hear 10? Can somebody give me 5? Oh, a big
Yeah.
5. Give me 5. Ooh.
who's here with us? Say hello.
Come on down.
They're being shy today.
I hope the email went out. Well, they know where to find us. I guess I could check the New Blue Titler.
You
I
could.
think I'm delusional.
Yeah, it works on Facebook.
Does it? Cool, honey.
Remember last year? Hello, Ed, and I looked up your beautiful city. I hope I say it right. Kamloopa? It's gorgeous. Now
Sure
I
it's
have
not Kamloops?
Kamloops. No, it's Kamloops.
Kamloops.
Kamloops. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I've got it on my wish list.
Yeah, it is awesome. I'd say it's one of the junction cities, but maybe I'm mistaken. But as you're starting to head east, I remember that you go through Kamloops to get to the Rockies.
Hi, Mary. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here because Facebook's really slow. Okay, we've got ourselves a countdown here.
That we do.
1 minute.
YouTube's about 5-6 seconds.
Yeah,
Do
I
I?
mean, it's really quick.
Yeah, I know. If it was getting any better, it'd be in the future. That'd be
I know.
scary, wouldn't
That
it?
would be scary.
That would be like, let's see, Outer Limits or Twilight Zone.
Are you ready for these questions? You're going to dump the hat, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if we had any new questions come in. I guess that it is, 20 seconds. No, we won't check for it now.
Yeah.
It is show time.
Ed says that Kamloops is about halfway between Alcove and Calgary, Alberta. Alrighty, fabulous Friday, and your host, Michael.
Thank you, Grace. Michael here at BridgeHands with the lovely Grace, and we are ready for another fantastic, fun Friday.
Whoop, whoop.
And not as many questions as we were hoping for, but hey, we had some from last week that we can do some catch up on, so that's good. But we do have one new one that came in, and as always, we're going to do our hand or hands of the week. So happy Friday to you all out there, wherever you're from. So Walter, good to have you. Ed, Mary, and the rest of you all. So if you're ready, off we go and see, where do we want to start? I think we got some slides here. And I guess, Grace, you probably don't see them, do you? Or do you have them also?
I will see them when you pop them up on the screen.
All right,
for
well,
us.
let's do that. Let's make them for moi to share with y'all. Okay, so here we go. Friday, May 22nd. Ask Bridge Question Club, ABC.
Alrighty, are you ready, Michael?
Please go ahead, Grace.
Do you agree that in general, penalty doubles have died and gone to heaven?
I've got a problem.
You don't have your hat.
Where's my hat? Where'd
I
my hat go?
asked you about that.
Oh, would you get my hat, sweetness?
Oh boy, now I'm the.
Without my head here, I am feeling
Now
naked.
I'm going to be your
naked.
chirpa.
Yeah, I think you probably have to take your helmet off,
yeah.
your headgear. Okay, so let's see. Do I agree that in general penalty doubles have died and gone to heaven? It's in the closet, I think. Well, good question. I guess that, John, I'd have to say is that you kind of wonder. And I'd say it's been that way for maybe 20 years. And it kind of gets back to competitive bidding, doesn't it? You remember back in the early 1900s, about 1906 it was, when it was like auction bridge. There were no, well, I guess there were doubles, redoubles, quad doubles. Oh, here we go. Grace is going to bestow my headgear.
Your
You
crown.
gotta like grab a hold of it. Okay, put it on, baby.
There we go.
Wow, how about that? Okay, so I guess I better be in the screen because Grace is always like, hey, they want to see you. They want to keep their eye on you. So, okay. So I have my headgear on now. Hey, how about that? So the camera angle could be a little bit better, but, oh, it's beautiful, darling. Look at that.
Yes.
I got my jewelry and everything. So I think that's a little bit big on the screen. So, okay, down I go. So, yeah, early 1900s. You remember back then, don't you?
Nope.
Is that, yeah, there was, everything was pretty much for penalty. And then they came out with, first of all, the takeout double. Your righty makes a bid. I'm hearing a little feedback. Are you, Grace? Check
Yes,
test.
a little bit. Test.
I'm
1,
not
2,
sure where
3.
it's coming from. I've got a feeling it's from our dial-in number, but we'll get to that in a moment. So, anyway, what happens is you get a situation where your right-hand opponent's made a bid, and you make a double. And there's no reason to make that for penalty at the one level, is it? So I say, okay, we got this takeout double. And our lesson that we had on last Saturday and coming again this Saturday is the negative double. Then it went, your partner opens one diamond, and then your righty goes one spade in the east, and we in the south, we don't have that 5 and dime. 5 cards or more in a major and 10 points or more, so we're kind of stuck. So I said, we'll make a double by the responder. We'll call it the negative double. We'll call that one the takeout double, and this one we'll call the negative double. And then it just kind of went on from there. And I think it was about 1950s by Alvin Roth, I think was the one who did the negative doubles. And then, as you may recall, we had all these other doubles. So since you asked the question, let me see if I can get a screen up here. And I think we've done this a couple weeks ago, but hey, it's good to refresh ourselves. So let's go on BridgeHands. And let's go on doubles. And you could go through the encyclopedia, the letter D or something like that. But let's see if this gets us. Yeah, it seemed to. Doubles. So, okay, we've talked about balancing doubles when we're in the pass-out seat. Yeah, our double isn't normally for penalty there. So, yeah, it makes sense at the lower level. And a good rule of thumb, some people say, well, but when is it on? When is it off? Anytime they're in a part score, let's say they go up to 2 hearts or 2 spades their way, and they have a suit agreement, you know, 1 heart, 2 hearts, or 1 spade, 2 spades, and we're bidding as well. You think about the risk-reward relationship, and I think this is the underlying question for John. John, if we could double them into game, that means they doubled their trick score, so they had, 30 points for each of the majors, so that's 60. So we're going to double that. Now it's up to 120. And then if they're playing in part score, then I guess they don't get, well, if it's 2 of a major, they're going to get a game bonus, aren't they? Or if you're playing rubber bridge, yeah, you could put them right into game. So that could be, and then there's the insult for another 50 or 100, vulnerable or not. So all of a sudden it's ching, 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 rather than maybe getting like 100 points rather than 50 for penalizing them, or an extra 100 if they're vulnerable. If you're going to give them a game bonus, that's a lot. So the basic rule of thumb is if you're going to be, when you're doubling their low-level contract, you better be really, really, really sure, even with the bad breaks or if they've got extra distribution. You want power. You don't want like long suits with extra honors, or you probably should not be making it a penalty double. And so a lot of these, then that's what we're taking a look at. So the balancing seat bid, borrow a king from your partner, or this, whatever you want to call it, action, optional, cooperative double that I guess I better show you the screen here. You're not going to see what I'm going. So let's see. I want to go to Deep Finesse, and maybe this screen here will do it. Yeah, there we go. So there's action, cooperative, optional double. And this is where it's, partner, do something intelligent. We're at the low level. So we start off with 1 club. They do 1 spade. I do 2 clubs, and then they do 2 spades. They've got an O-bar, opponent's bid and raise. So here it's like, yeah, we should normally be doing this for a takeout, even though, we maybe have half the points in the deck. A general rule and thumb, and I'm going to go ahead and write this on the screen here too. I think this would be a good one to do it on. So, is the rule of 23. So when they have a fit like this, and I and my partner have 23 average points, meaning my partner opened, so I'm going to say normally 12 or more, could be 11, could be a rule of 20 where they had 10 points, but normally it's going to be 12 points or more. And let's say that I've got 11 to 12 myself, so between the 2 of us, we have 23 points. Well, we should not be selling out to the contract. We either need to be bidding more or penalizing them. So maybe we need to be in 2 no trump if I've got ace, queen of spades or something, and I don't want to go to more clubs or something like that. So the rule of 23 is one factor, and the other, as I said, was, let's see if I can erase some of this, keep some of it up, and that is when you have a situation where you'll put them into game. So, and I guess this auction would do it as well. So, you can see that if you were to do after 2 spades by them, you do a double, and you think it's, I think it should be penalty, then, okay, if they make the game, they're going to be getting like about 470 points or more. So is it really worth that risk reward? Sometimes you want the opponents to respect you in the morning, don't you? So you feel like you've got to make a bid. So I do understand is that sometimes if you want to kind of clip their wings a little bit, and I like to call them testosterone doubles because, you get an extra 50 or 100 points, but the risk might have been 300 or 400 points if they made the 2 spade bid. So normally at the 2 level, we don't do it for penalty. I hope that helps, John. I don't know if he's here or not, but okay. And Bernice says, waves at Bridge. Thank you to the Bridge world. And we wave to you there too, Bernice. So, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some more. I'm going to go back to this one sheet a little bit just for a second. There we have it. So the rule of 23. Remember, if you have 23 or more average points, and here in this case we're 1 club, 1 spade, and then 2 clubs by the opponent. Yeah, it might be that my partner overcalled with 6 or 7 points with 1 spade. I should say the opponent's overcalled by 6 or 7 points with 1 spade. And then I go in with 2 clubs. You know, I guess I don't have enough to make a 1 no trump bid of, 8 to 10 points in stoppers and spades. And then my lefty goes 2 spades. And so if either I or my partner, in this case in the pass-out seat, I come in, I'm borrowing a king, I want to keep the auction going. So yeah, we're still obligated to bid some more, I do believe. Because we don't want them to make 2 spades doubled for 470, or if it's a vulnerable game, another couple hundred points. So I hope that helps. Did I milk that one, Grace?
You milked it. Definitely milked it.
Okay, let's go on to the next question here. Going up and to the screen. Yeah, I think we've got it. Next question was one from last week from John, and he says, what? What's that? Go ahead. Oh, you want to do it.
Use conventions, and what can we expect?
I don't hear you. You're not turned on.
What is the most used convention, and what can we expect the average BBO player to use?
Oh boy. Okay, John, I'm going to try that question here.
You got
So-
to straighten that hat
Yeah,
out.
that hat is like getting a little cockeyed, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's- I was
There we
gonna
go.
say.
I'm all head.
You were left-brained.
I'm left-brained today. Yeah. So, okay, what is the most commonly used conventions? And what can you expect the average BBO player to use? Well, okay. If I don't lose my headgear too much, let's take a look at that.
Oh,
That's-
Bernice has an idea.
Okay, yes. Stream. What happened there?
Bernice got us choked up there.
Well, I'm going to... was anybody on Facebook? I don't think so. So I'm going
No.
to just... okay. I'm going
I'll
to
just-
assume that we're starting up on the other. Are we going again?
There she is. I see Bernice. Are you with us? I think so. I think everybody's good.
Okay. So let's go back over here. And yeah, I see where I'm getting some things on the screen here where I guess we had a bump on the internet. I'm not sure what it is. I thought that everybody was getting ready to go back to work again and things, but hold on and I'll get the next screen up. Bear with me here and let's see which one I want. I think we've got it, by Jove.
George. All right, let's repeat that.
Okay.
What
so-
is the most used conventions, and what can we expect the average BBO player to use?
The most used. Well, I think in terms of a system, Bernice, you hit the nail on the head.
Dude, you just nailed it.
I'm sorry, dudess, not a dude. You're a dudess.
Dudette.
But yeah, certainly the standard American yellow card, or I more prefer to say standard American because there's a couple bids in there that I don't think anybody really plays anymore, such as one of a minor, 2 no trump is game forcing. Most people say, no, it's invitational, come on. And then if there's like the opponent's bid 1 of a suit, and I do 1 no trump, and then you do 2 diamonds or 2 hearts, most people say, well, it's still Jacoby. You bid 1 no trump. In the original system, no, it was just to play, which then meant you had to do a 3-level bid to show that you had interest in game. So, yeah, I think those are a couple that come off. But most people, they just call it standard American yellow card and forget about those couple minor things that are variances because they don't come up very often. So, yeah, that would be a good one. And so Jacoby transfers are in there. Believe it or not, splinter bids are in there. I don't think the Jacoby 2 no trump is in there. I think, yeah, that's right. Standard American yellow card. I believe it's like one of a major 2 no trump is just game forcing. So you would have to talk to your partner when you say we're playing standard American, but I also want Jacoby 2 no trump. And what else? 15 to 17 no trump, I think these days is what pretty much is the agreement. And so slams, the 4 no trump is the Blackwood, or 4 clubs is Gerber. It goes like 1 no trump, 4 clubs, the Gerber. So yeah, those I think everybody would say, yeah, that's pretty much. Now the interesting thing is when you're on Bridge Base Online, when do you alert the bids? Because your partner doesn't alert them. Now, if you were playing in a duplicate game, then all the bids I've talked about, other than Jacoby 2 no trump, which is not part of standard American anyway, are not alertable. So Blackwood's not alertable, Gerber's not alertable. If it happens to be one of a minor 2 no trump is played for game or invitational, you don't have to say either way, oddly enough. There's once in a while you get somebody that they play strong 2s, so they open 2 hearts and you said, oh, they're weak. No, they're strong, but I guess you don't have to alert those. So there's a couple oddities on which ones are, but normally when you play on Bridge Base Online, you don't assume that when somebody opens 2 spades that they're strong. But you can always ask about a bid. You can click on their bid to get more information. But to John's question, the average BBO probably does play 2 over 1. If you're playing with the robots, the Ginsburg Intelligent Bridge, are playing 2 over 1. So what should you expect when they're playing 2 over 1? So I'm going to have a slide on that if I can. And let's see if I can get over here and go to another screen. What screen do I want? I get the feeling like some of my screens have gone backwards here. I'm getting a black screen. Where do I get to this screen here? Come on. Oh, I see it is indeed black. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to show it today. So you're just going to have to listen to me talk. So we're going to do that, and we're going to put that screen behind me. So, okay, so here's for instance. I would assume that they're playing inverted minors. In fact, if you look at all the things that are played with the robots, the inverted minors are there. So if it's 1 diamond, 2 diamond, or 1 club, 2 clubs, that's showing 10 points or more and strong invitation for game. So it's a forcing bid. If it's 1 club, 3 clubs, or 1 club, 3 diamonds, that's weak. And I'm assuming that it's 7 points or less. And hopefully a 5-card suit by your partner, because I may only have 3. But sometimes they do it with 4, so go figure. So those would be some of the things that you would expect. Standard carding, I think that's one of the most important things, whether you call it a convention. Most people think, oh, conventions are only with bids. But yeah, I think standard carding is assumed the standard, but you see a lot of people that like to play either the upside down attitude, the opposite way, or they like to play odd even, or something else. So I think those are the common things. Obviously, leading top of sequence, all bridge players, no matter what convention you're playing, is part of that, unless you're playing something like the Rusinau, which is next to top of the top, which is an oddity that hardly anybody plays. So I think those would be the main ones that would come. Grace, so does that make sense?
That does make sense. Hey, so what are your thoughts here? We've got time for maybe one more question, and then we can see if somebody wants to call in with us for
yeah, that might be good if somebody wants to call in. So why don't you give them the telephone number?
I will post it. If somebody wants to call in, let me know and leave that in the comments, and I'll send you out the number. And in the interim, do you have that next question up?
Nope, I was going to as soon as you were ready for it.
I'm ready.
Okay. So the next question will be up in just a moment here. Let's see, going back to this screen right here. So I'm going to have to get out of the way.
Down,
okay.
Boy. All righty. And John had a 2-part question here. So he asked, what convention can get you into trouble?
The answer is all of them. And the reason all of them can get you into trouble, well, because seldom with people when they first start talking about these do they make a decision on whether the convention is still on in the pass out seat and whether the convention is still on when the opponents overcall. Yeah, those are pretty important because the opponents, they like to come in the auctions. So when it happens to be Oh, let's say you're wanting to do the Jacoby 2 no trump. Your partner opens one spade, and you look at your hand, you say, I've got 12, 13 points or more, and I've got 4 or more spades, and I'm interested in slam, but rather than 4 no trump, I've learned the Jacoby 2 no trump. I'm going to bid 2 no trump, and we are going to be in like flint. And then my righty makes a bid, bids 2 spades. Like, wait a second, I wanted to bid 2 no trump. Well, Jacoby 2 no trump is off at this point. If I bid 2 no trump, that shows that I have, 10 to bad 12 points in the righty's suit, and I don't have trump support for you at all. So all of a sudden with that bid in there, or maybe they just, it went 1 spade, and this person does 1 no trump, and their partner alerts it. And you're like, oh, well, I'm not sure. Why are they alerting? It went 1 spade and they went 1 no trump. Isn't that 15 to 17 with stoppers in my partner's spade suit? And the person says, no, we're playing the Baron bid. Baron? Like a barren land that has no soil on? No, the Baron is like, the bridge Baron. It's a Baron. And it shows that there's not a lot of points, maybe like 8 to 11 points with shortness. I was like, well, oh, so you mean it's like a takeout double? Yeah, but it could be less than that, and it takes up some space away from you, except in 1 spade. So, oh, okay. So, oh my God, it's like this Baron bid. Shoot. Is my 2 no trump? What does it mean now? So, some of these are dependent upon the opponent's conventions. So, when there's an interference bid, let's say you open 1 heart, and then it goes 1 spade, and okay, now I can always Q bid, the opponent's suit if I've got a great hand. I don't want to do a jump or something like that if 2 no trump doesn't make it. Or what if it goes 1 spade and then a double? Well, now I bid 2 no trump. It means yet something else. It's the Jordan bid. It means I have 3 or 4 trump and invitation plus, could be up to slam. So, you see what I'm saying? You can get in trouble when you don't know with the overcalls, which you do after that, or when there's a pass-out seat. I'll give you another instance that a lot of people have different ideas on this one. Pass, 2, whatever, of a major, 2 hearts, let's say. Well, why would you make a preempt bid in 4C? Why don't you just pass? Well, I think the most common way this is played, and I think it was, I forget his name, Anderson, I forget the first name, but preempts from A to Z. And a great book, by the way. And in the 4th seat, opening 2 of a major shows an opening hand, usually a 6-card suit or a good 5, and 2 defensive tricks. And saying, I have some interest in game. I don't really want the opponents to get in the way to come in if I do 1 heart and then they go 2 spades. So I'm doing 2 hearts right off the get-go. And remember, they're both past hands. I'm in the 4th seat. So this is one where a lot of people, they think they know all these preempts, but in 4th seat and 2 of a major, it means something special, or it should. But if your partner, you've not talked about it, and you think they're probably not going to know it, then you better not make that bid. You better just bid at the 1 level, or else you and your partner are on different wavelengths. So I hope that helps. So Grace, did we have any questions come in?
I don't see any questions, nor are there any volunteers to call
well, I'm going
in.
to take one more. I had some good hands of the week, but since I can't get this screen to work, this is kind of like, I'm trying to think if I can, well, maybe I can do it without, I've got a backup plan, so I have to click it to start up again. Thanks for catching that.
You're welcome.
Boy, this is going to be a bumpy day, I've got a feeling.
And Patty's here. I think Patty might want to give us a call. How about it, Patty? You want to call?
I am going to be trying to do something here to see if I can get this working on another screen. So stand by for a moment, and let's go deep finesse over on this computer.
If you're getting Michael fuzzy, go down to your settings and hit that quality and make sure you've got it at least at 1080.
Yeah, it might be something where it's still syncing up. It looks like stream health. I don't see what it says, but we're just going to continue on. And let's see if I can get this to show up on this screen here. 22. Number uno. New. So, okay. This will be a moment. Stand by. Good things are worth hopefully waiting for. Let's see if I just put them in this folder on this computer, and we'll try once more. Enter, load, deal from file, 522, hand 1.
Alrighty, if we can get this up and going, we've got Patty to call in. And let me go ahead and put that number down in the comments.
I think this is going to be like I can't get it to occupy the full screen. Well, I could probably change the screen display, but I think you can probably see what's going on. So we're going to just do the best we can here on another computer today. So on this hand, let's see. I'm not sure if this is the same one I'm thinking I had. Let's just double check.
You want to wait just a second? We'll get Patty in?
Sure.
All right. The joys of live bridge, Bernice says.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Michael, looks like you're deep finesse into that game.
You know, I'm kind of just wondering is that if maybe it's the iPad or iPhone is where that echo's coming from.
Yeah, I have heard that echo. Hi, Patty.
Hello, this is Patty.
Hello.
Greetings, Patty. How do you do?
Well, I played a speedball game, and then I realized I could have gotten in, but I'm not sure if I'm not sure. I hope I'm live.
You're live. Pinch yourself.
Okay, but I just don't know if I'm in the right place. Okay.
Okay, well we're gonna see if we
You
can get
should
this to
see
work.
like a Internet Explorer file, or like a file, and he is clicking on a couple things.
Hi.
He's looking for those deep
I'm here.
finesses.
I don't know why, but I am not having much luck here. So, Patty, I guess what we're going to do is a plan B. I don't know if you have any bridge questions, but I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your speedball and bridge base online. Okay?
Yes.
So, tell me a little bit about your journey. How long have you been playing online, first of all?
Well, we only really started playing online with the shutdown, just as you started live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been an experience.
I'll bet it has. So what is it, I guess, first of all, the interface, did it take a while to get used to clicking and trying to remember what cards have been played and that sort of thing? Or what were your challenges?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the challenge is occasionally, because you're getting used to the computer, you misclick or you accidentally pass. And one time I got my east-west, north-south totally mixed up, and I was answering to the opposite side instead of my partner.
Ooh, that's happened before with some of my partners, too. Of course, I would never admit it. I would never do that. But, yeah, you must be careful of the context. You know, so much in life, Grace and I talk about this all the time, the context of what we're talking about. Did I give the subject of the sentence, or, you know, is it something that I should remember from a previous couple of minutes? And also on there, yes, sometimes there's this, what Bob Hammond, world-class international bridge player for the United States, played in the Bermuda Bowls many years, and he calls it being at the table. And that could mean, you know, distractions also, but really in synchronicity with what's going on. And I find that where I'm fine with all the times I've played, I think you get like up to 5,000. That's the highest. So this person's played more than 5,000 times online. So over the last 20 years or whatever it is, yeah, I've gotten to that level. And so the interface is fine on a computer. But now then, when I am on an iPad, I still kind of struggle with that some. So, it's the interface.
Yeah, I haven't done the iPad.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. The cards aren't as big. Be sure I got my glasses on. And so,
Right.
it is true. We must be careful depending upon what type of a system we are playing with.
Well, Speedball doesn't give you
And
much time
also,
for thought, does it?
Michael,
Yes?
Michael, yeah, we have new directors, and they're making mistakes also because there was one day where BBO was just overwhelmed, and they shut out several people out of the game in the middle of the game.
Ooh.
They shut them out. I have not seen or heard of that, but I guess that I
Yeah,
know
it
that
was
they
like
have been having
yeah.
problems. They used to have these free games, of course, they still do, but they said, we're going to put them on another server. So our server is overloaded. So they've had to actually bifurcate some of what they had for the people that play the free games and those who want to play in I'm assuming you're playing in the American Contract Bridge League $1.25 game?
Well, that's the Speedball, but actually there are virtual club games almost every day now.
There are. Mm-hmm. There
Yes,
are.
and they next week it's going to be Silver Points Triple for only $7 a game.
High-O silver in triples, huh? Well, that kind of gets you motivated,
Yes.
doesn't it? So who do you play with
Now
for your
today
partner?
I was. Pardon me.
Do you play with John for your partner?
We try to play. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, okay, so go ahead.
I was Michael. I was supposed to play today in a 750 limit game,
Mm-hmm.
and I had it all set up with my partner, and they left us out. They
Oh,
left
no.
us out of the game. That's why we had to play Speedball.
Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, so in other words, if you don't get in early enough, I suppose they have a limited number of tables for these. Is this kind of associated with a club game that's played online?
This was full deck. No, this was Henry Kingdon with full deck, and we were waiting to start the game, and he started it early, but for some reason, we got knocked out.
Ouch. Say, Grace wanted to add something. What is it,
I
Grace?
do. Mary's with us today from Ireland, and she just played a club game, her first one from the iPad, and it went very well, but she was stressed.
Yeah, and that is true. It's like we do get anxiety, and the only thing I can offer generally is, like in life, just always take a good breath, because you get a constriction in the chest. You're not breathing enough, or else you're like the rabbit with the wolf, the Willie Coyote. So, take a good breath. Exhale, take another one, and just try to okay, take a little extra time. And if they start hey, come on, Sal, what's going on? Yes, sorry. Then you just go ahead and make your bid or play. But yeah, that is something that you want to be kind of, once you get back at the table and your mind active, to be able to say, okay, a little bit of anticipatory, not always reaction. And so I guess, Patty, when
You have to get.
Go ahead.
You have to get used to the chat modem. I mean, you have to have the ability to chat with your partner in between rounds. And you can't cheat by having your partner on a phone. You can't be on a phone with your partner.
That's verboten.
Oh, yeah, that would be horrible.
Our two computers right next to each other
And,
with your spouse, that wouldn't be so cool.
You have to pre-alert all your alerts. You can't have your partner alert. You pre-alert.
Yeah, I would use a different word, because there is something, a technical term called pre-alert, such as if I'm playing precision, when I go to the table, we need to announce, or we call it pre-alert, before we even alert, to say we will be playing precision. If you opponents want to talk about what methods you want to play against that, and if you get some of these high-level players where you have special conventions like a multi-2 bid, you say you have to provide a possible recommended defense for them. Give them a sheet of paper. So I'm trying to make it fair. But when it comes to, online, it's we self-alert is the word. So it's not a pre-alert, but we self-alert.
Self-alert, correct.
But you actually do it before you complete your bid. If it turns out that, let me think of one. Well, it's something that's fairly simple. And that is Eric Rodwell. He came up with the support double. So, it's where an opponent intervenes, and I've got 3 cards support. There's the support double showing 3. So I open 1 diamond, and it's a pass. and then it goes 1 spade. I don't know if Eric Rodwell's got 4 or 5, and then let's say it goes 1 spade, let's say, and then it goes 2 diamonds. And then if I do a double, this is not necessarily what you would call the negative double, but in this case, it happens to say it's like I've got 3 card support. So I need to, before I make that bid, not after, I need to say 3S or 3 spades or 3 card support, or you shouldn't use the name of the convention. The name would be support doubles. They may not know what support double means if they're novice players. So it's nice you told me the name of it, but you tell me what it does. And if that takes 10 seconds and they're saying South, Patty, what's going on? If they can type faster, that presents a little bit of an awkward situation, doesn't it?
Yes, and also because you don't have table feel, you really look at the hesitations in people's play, and that's a big signal.
It is, but we use it at our own peril. It's like, in other words, we can take inferences from it. It may be right, it may not, but if it was a duplicate game and they took 20 or 30 seconds, people would be raising their hand. Director, can you help us, please? What's going on there? Was a break in tempo or hesitation, or the person tanked, or whatever you want to say. Try to be nice about it. But when it's online, it's like, are they answering the doorbell, or do they have to make an emergency health break, or what is going on? But I typically, after about 20 seconds, sometimes less, sometimes more, depends on how generous I feel that the opponents are. I'll just call the director. So I'll go up and click on the call director, and I'll just say East is stuck. And normally, the thing I don't like about that is that everybody sees in the room is that the director was called by, in this case, whatever my handle is, that so-and-so called, BridgeHands called the director. And then oftentimes that person will, I better bid now because it's been a call. If it comes right after, I've been waiting 20 or 30 seconds. So, and then the director will come and, let's everybody keep moving around. And sometimes if a person continually slows down, tanks, or whatever you would like to call it, then they may say, we're going to give them an average minus and us an average plus. But one of the dark
time,
go ahead.
One time we had somebody thought it was the end of the game, and they walked away from the table. And it was because the director was thanking everybody for coming to play the game, and there was still one more round.
That's bad. If you don't know that some people are like, is this imps or match points? They just signed up to play a game.
But the director got a sub real quick. They got a sub.
Yeah, they will try to get a sub. Grace has something to add.
Walter wants to add that sometimes hesitation might be computer ignorance. He waits as his 92-year-old finds the buttons.
And that is so good,
That's
Walter.
Is
sometimes it happens to be not only a navigational issue, which is probably a big one, you're right, Walter, but sometimes it's these other things where you're like looking, like Patty said, you've misclicked a pass before, and you just kind of want to be really sure. And I've had this thing. My mouse battery goes out.
In fact, that's bad.
The one you got there, in fact, it is warning me. Yeah. So, I got to go, and I've got it. This one, it has to be recharged. The other one, I can change the battery. So, there are sometimes technical issues, just like wasn't too long ago here, is that for some reason the internet upload stopped. And so, it could be, your service provider. Grace.
Bernice has a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
She says there are times you need to think a bit longer, so she announces that I'm in the tank. Is that legal?
Well, is it legal? We don't use the word illegal, but the proprieties of bridge is that, if we take extra time, the inference is that we've got some extra values and we've got a challenge, and our partner, then it becomes UI. You know what UI is, Patty?
UI?
Yes.
Under what?
Unauthorized information. Directors always talk about UI. It's kind of a dirty word, It's like, in fact, some directors like, if it hesitates, shoot it. In other words, they're guilty until proven innocent. But you don't want to be in a situation. Now, there are some situations where the directors can go ask people at the other tables and say, what would you do in this, or whatever. It gets a little bit complicated, but generally, if you hesitate and it causes a adverse score for your opponents, then the director will say, we need to have redress. So yeah, you want to be whenever possible in tempo. Now, if a person normally, they say, I've nothing, I want to click in 1 or 2 seconds, versus if I want to click in 10 or 15 seconds, yeah, you can make inferences on that. And when I have like no values and the opponents are taking a lot of time, I am not going to pass in 2 seconds. I'm gonna like, okay, I want to pass, but no, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 to 10, and then I'll click pass. I was never going to bid, but I don't want it to have them think as, oh, my partner's maybe got the problem. So I'm just trying to play in a constant tempo, and I think that's something at the table or online is but don't like one time be like doing things in 2 seconds, the next like take 30 is the idea.
No, in fact, John told me when I started doing this with other partners to wait the same amount of seconds for each time you play a card.
Right.
Or make a bid.
Yeah.
I have one more thought here, and then we're going to start closing this show down. Howard says, at the table, if you think a long time and then pass, your partner will be limited in his or her actions.
That is so true. Who said that?
That was Howard.
Hey, Howard, you know the rules of the road, don't you? Yeah, he didn't get off the turnip truck. So that is true. So if let's say my partner is, it goes 1 spade, 2 spades, and I'm kind of thinking, does my partner new help suit game try? And I just do 3 spades, and the director, yes, what is it? This person took like an inordinate amount of time. There was a break in tempo. If they're being nice, they'll say that. They'll say, well, okay, well, call me back after the hand is over. And my partner goes 4 spades. Yeah, the inference is that, oh, I had like some problems, therefore I must have some extras. I don't just have, 11, 12 points. And the director comes back and says, well, what did you do? Is, well, 4 spades making 5. Well, I want to see the partner's hand here, and it's like my partner has got like 5 spades, but only bid 2 spades, and it's got 9 or 10 points, and you think, well, yeah, they would have gone to game whether Michael had done anything other than pass. So, everybody else is doing that at the field. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to give redress in this situation. But in other situations, if it's a close call, then you will be where they will roll back the contract.
Howard says he's learned the hard way.
We all have. And that's so much in everything in bridge for Patty, for Howard, and the rest of us is that, as I keep saying about the pros, the difference between the pros and the rest of us is the pros have made every mistake we have, including break-in tempos, and they also have learned to stop making those errors in judgment. So I had something about...
I would like to...
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to add one more pearl of wisdom, which I just found out from John, is that if you go to your settings when you are playing online, you can actually make the setting where if you misclick, because they tell you there are no undos, but if you put in your setting that you want another click on your bid in case you misbid, or didn't put the alert in, your self-alert, you can actually do that. And he does that because occasionally you might hit the wrong bid.
Mm-hmm. To make it where it takes a double-click action that's required. Yeah, I was playing on, I think it was it FunBridge? I don't normally go to these other sites. Either FunBridge or the one that John likes, the Chinese site. Stingray, yeah. Oh. And a lot of them, they require a double click before the action is completed. And some people like it, some don't. But it's nice to know that you do have the option on those. So, well, Patty, thank you for your input
but not
on
the
that.
double click on the play. Yeah.
Right.
He got rid of the double click on the play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I guess I would say is that, sorry, I guess what happened is I didn't reboot the computer, and so one of the monitors, I guess, didn't come on, the one that did the deep finesse. So we won't be doing the hand of the week here this time, but there'll be more. And so for tomorrow, we have our second part of negative doubles. That is not the negative double by the responder, but after they have made the negative double, what does the opener have for their rebids? And just like we talked about conventions, a lot of people know the first part of conventions, but they're not always so clear on the bids, or rebids, or re-rebids. And so similarly, I think that tomorrow will be a little bit where we're going to build on what we had for last Saturday on negative doubles, and what will the opener do with their rebids. So that should be a good lesson, Grace. So how about today? Did we do okay, all things considering?
Well, I think that you are a master at making things work, so good for you. Big kudos.
Winging it.
And we thank you guys for being here, for submitting your Friday questions. Howard, you said you had some on Wednesday morning. I did not see those come into the inbox. It's support@bridgehands.com. If you want to go ahead and resend those, we'll see what we can do for next Friday.
Absolutely. Be glad to have them.
And then tomorrow is Members Day. Now, this video we are actually going to leave online. Tomorrow's video is for members, so we hope to see you there. And let's see, Bernice says she's got a gold card. It allows her to make mistakes.
The gold hat. It works every time.
All righty. So Patty's here, so Patty can help us. I can't hear her. I should get the headset on so I can hear her, and I'm with her. Let me go get my headset.
Okay.
So here's the next line.
Yeah, she, I guess, wants to chitty chat with Patty. Who cares about the clouds?
Her sing.
Oh, okay. Oh, the singing is what we're going to do. Oh, singing. Oh, wonderful. That's awesome.
So you guys have to feel free. You have to feel free to join in. All righty. Are we ready?
1 and a 2 and a happy trails
Happy trails
to you.
Until we meet again.
again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who
Happy
cares?
trails to you. Till we meet again. And that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We'll see you then.
And tomorrow. So thank you all for being here. Sorry for the technical issues. We'll have those fixed in a moment or two. And tomorrow we were going to be good to go. So I did want to have one just final thing, and that is that I did get one of our Bridge teachers who just signed up for the teacher membership and had some issues about portable Bridge notation PBN files versus the LIN files they use on BridgeBase. So I thought, I think it would be nice at some point in the future to spend some time with these computers that we use to do like BridgeBase Online and some of the others and how the robots play. I have more to talk about that. I know that John had some questions we'll get to in another week. So look for that in the coming week. So until then, as always, happy trails to you until we meet again.
Bye-bye.
Peace out. Bye for now. Thank you, Patty. Really
Thanks,
good to
Patty.
talk to you.
Thank you too.
Okay.
You're a trooper.
Bye for now.
We'll be an hour late because we're playing in the virtual game tomorrow at 11:45.
That will be 5. Good. Good luck on your game tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.